It was June 1980 when the Jenkins family arrived at Devil's Den State Park in Arkansas. With its lush forest trails, ancient rock formations, and quiet creeks, the park seemed the perfect escape from the chaos of city life. 12-year-old Daniel Jenkins, an adventurous boy with a love for wildlife, could hardly wait to explore the wilderness with his father, Robert. They'd pitched their tent near a quiet stream just beyond the main trail. For 2 days, everything was idyllic. Fishing, hiking, cooking over a fire. On the third day, Daniel asked if he could venture a bit further on his own to look for frogs and salamanders. His father agreed, as long as he stayed near the creek. He never returned. At first, Robert thought Daniel had simply gone too far along the creek. But an hour passed. Then, too, panic set in. Park rangers, local police, and volunteer searchers were called in. Helicopters scanned the area. Dogs sniffed for trails. But it was as if the forest had swallowed the boy whole. Then something strange happened. The dogs refused to go beyond a certain boulder near the stream. They would whimper and back away. Rangers noted the odd silence of the forest. No birdsong, no rustling, just an eerie, oppressive quiet. After 7 days of relentless searching, no trace of Daniel. In 1997, 17 years after Daniel vanished, a retired ranger named Owen Harris was tending to an old storage unit on the park's edge when he found an odd file buried deep in a rusted cabinet. It contained a sketch of a young boy, the same age and likeness as Daniel, standing in front of a twisted, unnatural tree with blackened bark and no leaves. But what disturbed Owen the most was a note attached to it. Scrawled in uneven handwriting, it read, "He lives beneath the stone. Not lost, but taken." Owen, deeply unsettled, brought the file to the park administration, but the report mysteriously vanished a week later. And so did Owen. In 2012, a college student named Grace Layton visited Devil's Den while researching American folklore for her thesis. On the second night of her camping trip, she and her friend heard what sounded like a child's laughter echoing through the trees. Far too late for any child to be playing. They followed the sound to a clearing with that same mossy boulder. Grace swore she saw a boy standing beside it, barefoot and in old-fashioned clothes. His eyes were glowing faintly, and when she approached, he simply turned and walked into the stone, as if it were a doorway. Her friend saw only darkness and trees. Grace never returned to that trail again. In 2019, a paranormal investigator and YouTuber named Trevor May visited the site after hearing the legend. He camped out with night vision cameras and EMF detectors. His recordings caught faint whispers in the wind. "Help me, I'm still here." But the most chilling moment came at 3:14 a.m. Trevor's footage was mysteriously corrupted when he tried to upload it. Only the audio survived. He claimed someone broke into his studio days later and stole the original tapes. Over the past 40 years, 5 other children have vanished in Devil's Den under similar circumstances, all near the same trail, and all during the summer. Each disappearance followed a similar pattern. Silence, no trace, and a final sighting by someone who described seeing a boy, always the same boy. Locals have begun calling him the Lure. They say he appears to children, especially those who are kind-hearted or lonely, and convinces them to follow him into the woods. Where he takes them, no one knows. In 2023, Daniel's mother, now elderly and living alone, received a letter in the mail. No stamp, no return address. Inside was a photo, aged and faded, of a young boy standing in front of a crooked tree. He hadn't aged a day since 1980. On the back, written in the same uneven handwriting, "He misses you, but he can't come back." She died 3 weeks later. To this day, the mystery of Daniel Jenkins remains unsolved. Devil's Den has become a hotspot for ghost hunters, skeptics, and curious wanderers. But the locals know better. They say if you go off the trail and hear laughter, especially on summer nights, turn around, run. Don't answer if a voice calls your name from the trees, because Daniel Jenkins is still there, and he's not alone anymore. More video watch now. I can subscribe my YouTube channel.